باسم فريق الحديقة التكنولوجية تكنوبارك بدي أشكركم جميعا لحضوركم اليوم. خلينا بس قبل ما نبلش هاي الويبينار أو هاي السيشن بس أعطيكم شوية باك جراوند سريعة. هذا البرنامج برنامج برينجين، والبرنامج الثاني تك سيركلز، هم البرنامجين الأساسيين اللي عم نقدمهم في الحديقة التكنولوجية على هامش شبكة أطلقناها من تقريبا سنة وشوي، اللي هي شبكة المغتربين الفلسطينيين من أجل التكنولوجيا. الفكرة من هاي الشبكة هي إنه نبني بريدج، أو خلينا نقول جسر للتواصل ما بيننا وما بين الفلسطينيين اللي عايشين برا، اللي في قطاع التكنولوجيا. مليان نعرف ريسورسز ومليان خبراء فلسطينيين عايشين برا، وفكرنا كيف ممكن يكون في طرق إبداعية للتواصل معهم لحتى نستفيد من الخبرات الموجودة عندهم ويكون عندنا اكسبوجر من نوع مختلف. فأول برنامج بدي أحكي لكم عنه بشكل سريع تك سيركلز، لأنه هلأ عم نطلق الدورة الثالثة من تك سيركلز، وباب التسجيل مفتوح له. فكرة إنه ندرب عدد معين من سواء كانوا في السنة الرابعة أو خريجين سنة أولى سنة ثانية، من خلال إنهم ينضموا لسيركلز. كل سيركل فيها 5 متدربين، 3 من غزة و2 من الضفة، عم نشبكهم مع منتور فلسطيني. الفكرة إنه يتم من خلال سيشنز، جروب سيشنز 1 to 1 منتورينج وكوتشنج على كل ما يخص تحسين مساركم المهني، تحسين السي في، لينكدين، أي مواضيع تكنيكال فيكم تحكوها مع المنتورز تاعونكم. كل ما يخطر على بالكم من ناحية تكنيكال، المنتور هو بيكون الفريند لكم لحتى يقدر يساعدكم. وهي هذه الدورة عم نفتحه مش بس للفلسطينيين المغتربين، عم نفتحه كمان لأصدقاء فلسطين اللي من جنسيات مختلفة اللي حابين ينضموا للبرنامج. فباب التسجيل مفتوح، بشجعكم كلياتكم تسجلوا. وبدي أحكي لكم إنه المهندس أشرف السبيكر معنا اليوم هو واحد من أنشط المنتورز اللي موجودين معنا بهذا البرنامج، واللي كتير استفدنا من خبرته. عشان هيك كتير حبينا إنه يكون معنا في هذا البرنامج اللي هو برينجين، هذا البرنامج الثاني. والفكرة منه إنه عكس برين درين، إنه نستقطب هاي الكفاءات لحتى تقدم ونسمع من خبراتها، وحتى كمان يكون في مينجلينج أكتر وأسئلة وأجوبة في آخر الجلسة. المهندس أشرف معنا من كوليدج بورد، وبترك لك المجال تعرف لنا عن حالك وتحكي لنا أكتر عن شو بتعمل. تحكي لنا أنت من وين أصلا في فلسطين، وبعدين فيك تبلش بالسيشن، وبآخرها بنفتح المجال للأسئلة والأجوبة. وأهلا وسهلا جميعا.
شكرا جزيلا. مرحبا للكل. أنا أصلا خريج بير زيت، يعني أنا خريج بير زيت سنة 99، هندسة كهربائية. أنا من غزة. طبعا الباك جراوند تبعي هندسة كهربائية، بس معظم الخبرة تبعتي سوفت وير انجينيرنج. يعني اشتغلت في فلسطين 2 سنين قبل ما انتقل على أمريكا، اللي في أمريكا حوالي 24 سنة. معظم شغلي في السوفت وير انجينيرنج، كلاود، اركتكتشرال ديزاين. ف فاللي الموضوع اللي اليوم بدنا نحكي فيه هو طبعا زي ما الكل عارف انه موضوع لسه جديد، والكل قاعد يعني بحاول يتعلم فيه وبحاول انه يعني يستفيد منه. وهذا الحكي مش بس عندكم، هذا everywhere. يعني حتى عندنا في الشركة هذا موضوع جديد. أنا التيم تبعي يعني واحد من التيمز اللي هو زي ما تحكي R&D تيم. فمعظم الشغلات الجديدة بتيجي علينا في الأول، بنعمل عليها بحث، بنعمل تولز وشغلات تفيد باقي التيمز عندنا في الشركة. فهذا هو واحد من المواضيع اللي حوالي تقريبا 2 سنين يعني مركز عليه. بس هذا موضوع كبير كتير، فأنا يعني بحكي إنه أنا مش خبير AI زي ما، بس طبعا عندي exposure منيح. وهذا الموضوع اللي أنا بدي أحكي فيه حتى هذا لسه جديد على ال AI. فيعني لسه يعني أنا ما عمري عملت application بهاي specific technology، عملت على شغلات مختلفة. بس أنا حابب إنه نتطرق لهذا الموضوع ونناقشه، ونشوف إيش الفوائد تبعته، إيش ممكن نسوي في المستقبل. هلا أنا راح أحكي ميكس بين عربي وإنجليزي، فيعني ما اذا ما في مشكله، لانه انا محضر النوتس تبعته بالانجليزي، بس بامكانك تسال اذا في اي حد عنده سؤال، كانك تسال بالعربي وبالانجليزي ما فيش مشكله. قبل ما نبدا في اي سؤال معين؟ ممتاز. اوكي خليني ابدا من هون. اوكي. فزي ما حكيت معظم خبرتي انا في الديزاين والاركتكتشر، وريسنتلي كلاود كومبيوتنج. I'm excited to present this topic for all of you guys. So let's get in. So what's autonomous AI agents? قبل ما نحكي على شو الاوتونوموس، خلينا نعرف شو هو الايجنت بشكل عام. الايجنت هو عباره عن piece of software that will react on behalf of somebody else. يعني زي ما تحكي
أستاذ أشرف، سمعنا؟ الصوت عندك قطع.
البرامج اللي
كان freezing أو لساته freezing.
خلينا
هلا نشوف.
هلا مش سامعين؟
صوتك عم بيقطع، انت عم بتروح وبتيجي.
اوكي 1 سكند. مايكروفون. الصوت يعني مش مسموع بالمره ولا بروح وبيجي؟
لا انت عم بتكون كله فريزنج، كله عم، بس هلا تمام، بس يعني كان صار يقطع. هلا تمام.
اوكي ماشي. انا قمت الهيدسيت، هلا بستخدم السماعات تاعت الكمبيوتر، هيك احسن من اول؟
ان شاء الله.
او ممكن احط السماعات مره ثانيه، شوف مين احسن.
هو اي ثينك انه انترنت، لانه
أوكي.
كمان صورتك كمان كانت فريزنج تصير، مش بس الصوت.
اوكي انا عندنا انترنت منيح، المفروض ما يصيرش شيء زي هيك. على العموم
تفضل.
هلا منيح.
هيك منيح، سهل.
طيب
تفضل.
ماشي. اوكي نرجع one step back. انا كنت بحكي في السلايد اللي بعده. اوكي هلا الاجنده اليوم اللي بدنا نحكي على مقدمه في ايش هو الاوتونوموس ايجنت، بعدين نحكي كيف هذا راح ياثر في الكلاود كومبيوتنج، وكيف ممكن احنا نستخدمه، ايش التولز والتكنولوجيز اللي راح نستخدمها، ايش اليوز كيسز، الشغلات اللي ممكن نعملها، وبرضه ايش التشالنجز اللي ممكن انه to face us while we go use this technology. بعدين نتطرق لبعض التطبيقات المستقبليه اللي ممكن نطبقها في هاي التكنولوجي، واخر شيء نروح على QA. هلا بدنا نتعرف شو هو الاوتونوموس ايجنت. Agent in general is something that doing something on behalf of somebody else. فاذا انا بتفرج على الانترنت بستخدم البراوزر هو يعتبر my agent. هلا agent to replace a function that somebody is doing. For example, an HR manager does multiple tasks. Somebody could actually be an agent to do something on behalf of the HR manager. هلا الايجنت بامكانهم يكونوا human agents، يعني اذا انت بدك تروح your secretary, your helper, your associate can be your agent to do certain things. الاي اي طبعا بما انه الاي اي في عنده reasoning just like a human. I mean not like a human, but it's a technology that actually come very close to reasoning, just like how a human reason. And then when you put that agent in a way that they can actually take decisions by themselves, then that becomes an autonomous agent. So basically, it's an automated way of performing certain tasks, and it will take decisions by itself, and it is self-learning. Means the more it interacts with the environment, the more it understands. Just like a human, when you get a job for the first time, you are learning, and then when you do it again, you are doing it even better, and you're doing it again, you are doing it even better and better. And that's what autonomous AI agents, they are an automated way of AI to do certain tasks, but they also learn from their environment. They are sensing what's happening behind within their environments. They could be reading sensors, they could be reading logs, telemetry, statistics. If you are talking about a software, a piece of software on a cloud, it could be reading CloudWatch. If you are on AWS, and if there's alarms and things like that, it could be collecting all of these things and learning, continuously learning. So next time it needs to decide on an action, it will be based on all of the cumulative learning that happened going forward. And this is very important because there is a lot of tasks that we could automate that will make our lives much easier. And when these AI can take decisions like independently, they can really replace a big workforce and basically saves a lot of money. So that's what an AI agent basically in brief. Next, now, what's the relation between an autonomous AI agent and the cloud computing? So cloud has been there for what? I remember maybe 10. It started 2000s, maybe around 10, 15 years. Started when you could just lift and shift. You take your data center computers and just take them to your cloud with EC2s and virtual machines, and then you just provision virtualization. So that's the early days on cloud. And then modern microservices and Kubernetes and containers and serverless architecture became like the go-to. I mean, my team, I worked on a project for almost 5 years. We used zero EC2s or zero machines. Everything we did was serverless. Our compute was serverless. Our database was serverless. Our workflows, everything was serverless. So basically, if you are not running your application, you are paying literally zero money. Where in the early days, you could be like paying thousands of dollars, even if your architecture is sit idle. So we moved quite in advance in cloud computing, but still microservices is very complex to manage. So if you are familiar with cloud and you know how to manage an EC2 or a virtual machine versus how to manage a microservices architecture, it's totally different. So it increases in complexity so high where you really need automation to do that. Without automation, you cannot simply run a microservice, because now all of your functions are split into smaller pieces and deployed independently. So to do that, you really need automation. Now, we have automation with cloud, CI/CD, as a lot of you guys are familiar with, cloud ops and all of these things. But still, there is a lot of monitoring and human interaction that are needed for us to actually running cloud ops or CI/CD operations. And this is where autonomous AI agent comes in play, where with all of the complexities with the microservices and containers, serverless, then you need some automated process that actually can take decisions on behalf of you. For example, if you are running a big system, consists from like almost hundreds, maybe thousands. Actually, my application that I designed, we end up with thousands of cloud components. Literally, and one time our project stopped running because we reached to the limit of how many components we are building. It means if you want to monitor each one of these, and if you want to know where your system is a big deal. That's why monitoring and observability is a very key aspect of that. And then, of course, to make decisions, you need human interaction. Now, that's where autonomous AI agent can actually come in play. So how autonomous AI agent fit in this specific situation? So as I mentioned earlier, resource management is one of the biggest pain points in cloud computing. Figuring out the optimal resource allocation, autonomous agents can monitor usage pattern, predict workload spikes, and proactively scale resources up and down to prevent downtime. And security, of course, the more complex your system, the more it becomes vulnerable, because any weak point in your system becomes it's the weak your security or the of your system is as secure as your weakest link. So if there is one little component that is not secured, that means your entire system is as weak as that point. That's why security in cloud computing and microservices is so critical. And when you have AI agents that actually monitors observability and looks at alerts and so as a human, if you get 100 emails, I mean, you cannot tell. I mean, you are gonna lose your way. You need something to. As a human, I cannot barely read 10 emails and manage them. But how about if you have alerts? Do you know which one makes sense? Which one you want to act on? Which one is false positive, false negative? AI agent can actually do that. The AI agent ما بيزهق. لو جبت له 1000 alert راح يروح واحد ورا الثاني واحد ورا الثاني ويتفرج عليهم كلهم. كhuman ممكن we can lose patience, and then so that's where autonomous AI agent can actually fill a big gap where a human require lots of effort. Of course, and we talked about automation for DevOps, integration, CI/CD pipelines, auto recovery of services. All of that is under the same umbrella. Now, we talked about autonomous AI agents as something that act on independently. That means they need to predict. Of course, when they are sensing the environment, like they are reading logs, they are reading alarms, they are getting feedback. So they are taking these patterns, learning from them. And of course, machine learning, there are concepts of something called reinforced learning, where the agent takes everything in, and then as the agent interacts with an environment, becomes more and more intelligent, and then next time it's gonna perform much better. So some of these tools are natural language for agent interaction, and of course something that's that's also affect this, where if you have a big system, and I'm talking about not the standard cloud computing where you have an application, but distributed systems, like you have devices in the field, like you have sensors, you have, and that comes into, so, and you need intelligence at the edge places. You don't have a big computer running on the edge. When edge means that a device that's a peripheral device, just a sensor, or things like if you are running. I'm an electrical engineer, so we learn these things. So you can control valves, you can sense temperature,
أستاذ أشرف, you're freezing a little bit صراحة, مش سامعك.
اوكي.
I think
انا بالنسبه لي انا اوكي
هيك تمام.
يعني اروح ابطأ شويه مثلا.
I think
أوكي.
لازم
أوكي.
شوي تكون أبطأ عشان ما يقطع لو سمحت.
ماشي اوكي. اوكي احنا بنحكي في الايدج كومبيوتنج. هلا الاي اي مودلز recently they produce AI models that can be deployed on small devices, and they are fully like fully functional AI models, or like machine learning models that run on a small footprint of computing, and that allows us to make decisions. We don't need the big computer running on the cloud to actually make a decision. We can actually make a decision based on the local parameters and local, just like how cars, for example, like autonomous cars, when they drive, they cannot every single turn or every single thing that happens. They cannot go back to the cloud. They need to have all of the computing power that is necessary in the car, but not only the main computer, the peripherals, the sensors, the cameras, the infrareds, everything that's collecting metrics is local. And then when you get all of that and have proper AI model, then you can actually do decisions locally without going back into the cloud. So real world applications, and this is, I think as we go, we'll see that some of these I have already talked about. Autonomous infrastructure management means the autonomous AI agent can basically provision additional servers. It can scale back, scale up. It can basically, if an environment is completely down, as I mentioned, microservices is so complex. You could have partially running system, but you don't know whether this partial running system can actually fulfill the entire function of the system, you need to decide, should we run on the backup system in something we call multi-cloud, where or multi-region deployments, where the application is provisioned in multiple places, and if there is an outage happening that's affecting the entire functionality of the system, basically we need to actually move the users to the healthy resources. Now, when you have thousands of these, something automated will make our lives easier. So we may actually need to decide. Sometimes autonomous AI agents are not left by themselves, means at one point we may need to get the human to decide, but we can autonomous agent can actually do the little decisions where they have all the inputs, but when it comes to a full system like switch or something that is major, there could be a step for a human to say, yes, this is good, go ahead and do it. So sometimes autonomous AI agent may actually seek human like approvals and things like that. So that's, we talked about infrastructure. So if you remember last time, Nizar, he actually talked about the customer service agents and the finance and banking. And so these three cases, the customer service, finance, and healthcare, he alluded to that. So I just put these here just for completeness, but I'm focusing on really cloud, like AI agents with the relation to the cloud computing. I'll just go next. So I think this. اتفضل في سؤال؟
في سؤال بحكي, is this a one-time setup or do we need human interaction from time to time?
So it's actually both. Yeah, go ahead.
Both. Amazing. وفي, can we get to a point where customer service engineers can operate such applications by themselves?
Yes, actually, I'm actually building currently a customer support AI agent where the AI agent either answers questions for the end user directly by reasoning the question, and actually the AI agent can actually go back to the database, fetch information about the user, go back to the system and answer the user as much as it can. When it comes, sometimes a user requires a human interaction. Then at that point, the AI agent will coordinate a switch to human customer support. But there's a lot of customer support like tasks that can be completely automated, especially if you enable the AI agent, if you give the AI agent all the resources that needs, like access to the database, access to systems, access to logs and metrics and things like that. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you. ما في أي
No problem. Okay, sure. Let's go back. Okay. So we talked about the end-to-end provisioning and orchestration. So basically, that's where an AI agent can spin up virtual machines and containers, serverless functions, change policies and workloads, and eliminates the need for a human intervention every time a resource is needed. It can scale up, scale down based on the performance, based on the need, how much is the traffic there, what's the CPU usage, what's the basically the traffic on the site. that automation of fine-tuned scale up and down is going to basically help in reducing cost, because and that's basically what the overall like one of the main goals of having automation is to reduce latency, to improve performance, and also reduce cost. So reduce cost is one of the main reasons for a system like this. And of course, we need and when you act on a problem like quick enough, then now you have a better fault tolerance detection and healing. So by analyzing logs and performance metrics, AI agents can detect anomalies that might signal hardware failures or software bugs or security breaches and things like that. So the quick or the sooner you get to these issues, the better your customer basically come on. Basically well, come on. انا لما نعلق في كلمه خلاص بقى. المهم انه الكاستمر بيكونوا مبسوطين. اوكي هاي بالعربي طلعنا منها. اوكي اللي بعده. اوكي هلا challenges with ethical consideration. Of course, AI agents, because they are trained on a big like set of data, and then you are exposing user data, and you are exposing information, and then this AI agent is because it's reinforced learning, means it learns from the feedback process. So that means you want to make sure that when you feedback the information to the agents, you want to make sure that you extract all of the user-related information so it doesn't get into the model, basically reinforced learning. And the other thing is ethical use of AI, where AI could actually get biased by feedback. So if you feedback, if you see, إذا أنت عمرك لاحظت بتحكي في مايكروفون والمايكروفون فيه فيدباك بتسمع زنة هيك سيئة. ليش؟ لأنه هي كان النويز صغيرة دخلت في الميكروفون، عملت فيدباك، ضلت تكبر 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 لما صارت نويز كبير. هذا اسمه الفيدباك. فعندك لو انك عندك داتا مش صحيحه ودخلت على السيستم، بعدين عملت فيدباك مره ثانيه وعملت فيدباك مره ثانيه، فهيك تعمل بايس. فانت عمليه الفيدباك للليرنينج سيستم عملت بايس، فبدك تكون يعني هاي الشغلات الفيدباك سيستم لازم لما الرينفورس ليرنينج الواحد يكون حريص انه ما يصير في بايس للسيستم. في النهايه الديسيجنز اللي بيعملها السيستم بتكون غير صحيحه، لانه اذا انت دخلت معلومه غير صحيحه وضليتك تعملها فيدباك، ففي النهايه بصير السيستم biased. Reliability, accountability, and handling edge cases. So this is where sometimes you may need to have a human interaction in critical workflow, like decisions where something that is so critical, AI agent can take a decision, but eventually you are the responsible. It's a piece of software, and if it takes a decision that's not right, you are the responsible. So means you have to be accountable, and in some cases you don't want to make it completely autonomous. You want to inject some human interaction to validate certain things. The other thing is, this is a new technology, and as you see, it may actually completely eliminate some functions or some even roles within organizations. I remember the other day, Mr. Nizar said that in his company, all of their HR forms are done using autonomous AI agents, where the promotions, appraisals, and all of these things are happening. Like you submit a promotion request, within 10 minutes you get yes. Now it's great. But that means it eliminates most of the HR team. So this is where you sometimes get some resistance from your team, your organization, where when you want to apply new technology like this, they are going to basically face resistance, and then you have to convince them that it's good for everyone. But yeah, that's normally the case when it comes to really applying new technology. So what's next?
أستاذ
So
أشرف.
little bit can users from one. Yeah, sure. Yeah. سمعاني؟ الو؟
شوف الو.
برضو صوتك بقطع، شكله السيستم نفسه ضعيف.
maybe yes. هو بس آخر جملتين قطع عندهم، ف I think هلا رجع تمام.
نعم.
شكرا.
ماشي، أنا بحاول أحكي أبطأ شوي. أنا بنحكي على يعني شو الشغلات اللي الابلكيشنز الثانيه اللي ممكن نستخدم فيها الاوتونوموس اي اي ايجنتس. اكستنشن للكلاود. هلا ممكن to apply it to the multi-cloud and hybrid environments where your AI agent can actually exist in the edge location, in your data center, in the cloud, in the field. So it can be everywhere. With edge computing and having AI models that can run on a peripheral devices and small footprint, then you can expand it into really almost everywhere in your system. And then, of course, that's going to also help the cybersecurity tools, where now you can use AI agents to supplement these tools and then avoid cyber threats. AI agents can quickly detect suspicious activities and vulnerabilities. We may see full autonomous security layers that adapt as a threat. Threats happening more and more. Now, federated learning. Basically, it allows AI models to train on a localized data without sharing that data to the central model. It's particularly relevant for sensitive industries like healthcare, finance, privacy, related application, and automated orchestration of an entire business process. That's, I think, eventually is going to reach to there where beyond just the IT infrastructure, we can envision that AI agent can manage an entire workflow, like supply chain operations, HR process, coordination, decision between like different departments. I mean, the sky is the limit. I think this technology is getting really exponentially advanced day by day, and we are going to see a lot of applications, and we are already seeing that happening. So basically, this means that we need to keep our eye on this. So we don't want to miss this. We want to invest in training, recruitment, adopt like cloud native best practices, experiment with pilot projects. You cannot work with these tools unless you try and fail. I mean, as I mentioned, my team is an R&D team, and we do different tools, and we keep experiments and create POCs and little projects to see whether we can actually fix a certain problem. Of course, collaborate and knowledge across teams, and of course seminars and webinars like that. And there is a lot of information on the web that you can actually get more knowledge on this topic. So cloud, it was always like a focus for the last maybe 10 years, but now AI is overshadowing that, and I wouldn't be surprised that AI agents at some point of time is going to replace microservices, where actually Microsoft CEO said that microservices are something of the past. AI agents are going to replace them. So I don't see that happening like tomorrow, but I see maybe it's going to happen in the future. And as a CEO of Microsoft, and he said that microservices are thing of the past. I think he knows what he's talking about. And that's all. Thank you for joining me, and I look for questions. Anybody
Amazing.
has any questions?
Thank you so much أستاذ أشرف. في عنا سؤال من عمر العارف. تفضل عمر.
مزبوط. مرحبا أشرف، شكرا كتير على البرزنتيشن القيمة. أنا سؤالي لك هلا، إذا أنا مش R&D ومش يعني مش AI وبدي أستفيد منها as a small business، إيش الستارتينج بوينت اللي بتنصح فيها تكون؟ يعني أنا مرحلة إنه I don't want to test it as much as I want to benefit from it.
ايش اليوز كيسز اللي انت بتفكر تستخدمها فيها؟ يعني
صراحة بالجيمينج.
جيمينج يعني انت بتعمل جيمينج يعني، او
بدي اعمل جيمينج وانه مثلا كنت عمال بفكر انه مثلا الاي اي ايجنت ممكن يكون مربوط ب some form of a generative AI to produce يعني كيف بدي اقول لك options للعبة.
اوكي يعني هذا يوز كيس بعتقد انه يعني مناسب كتير. هلا اذا انت عندك الجيم فيها اكترز رايت، وبدك اكتر يكون بامكانك الاكتر نفسه يكون AI agent collecting behaviors from the surrounding actors. So let's say انت بتلعب مع يعني هذا جيم، انت بتلعب مع الاي اي. اوكي، بدك تخلي الاي اي هو الاوبوننتس تبعك. هلا بدك to present the environment to the AI. For example, if this is a shooting game, or this is a driving game, or this is so you want to collect all of this basic environment like metrics, like just like I am a human looking at a screen, I'm seeing different things. You want to present that to the agent and make the agent do reasoning and then make decisions. And then that way you could actually have an opponent in the game using AI where the AI thinks just like a human. So, and you can actually do this. It's very easy. OpenAI has something called tools and functions. Okay, tools and functions.
Tools. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. In tools and functions, you can actually build an agent, just like a function, just like how you build a normal function, and it has inputs and it has outputs. The inputs are the environment surroundings. So basically, you say, this is my environment, what's your next move? And then you get the agent will give you the next move, and then you collect the environments again, and then the AI agent will do the move next based on what you let's say this is a chess game. So now the next one is, now you are telling the AI agent that you actually moved your piece from this location to that location. So that's where you can actually do it now using OpenAI functions, and it's really straightforward. So you can embed that into your game. Yeah.
Do you recommend a specific platform for this؟ يعني أو بعرفش شو من ال AI agents في options، يعني لما فتت في options إنه كتير في developers عاملين AI agents، so شوي بتضيع الشغلة.
صحيح. ما هو يعتمد انت كيف بدك تستخدمها. اذا بدك اياها تكون embedded into your game. هلا if your game is an online game versus offline game. Online game you can actually use one of the platforms to actually manage your agent. If it's offline, then there are machine learning or like LLM models that you can actually deploy on a machine, like on your computer. The entire AI agent is actually going to be running on your machine. I don't know if you have ever done this, but there is something called Llama or Llama. It will allow you to deploy your model locally in your machine. I will give that URL in the chat.
Oh, great! Thanks.
It's. Let me see. Where is the? Oh, 1 second. Where's the chat?
I can send some. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, send the chat because.
Wait, I'm just sending.
Okay, هاي شفته. Okay. Okay, وصلك؟
Yes.
Okay. هذا system, it's open source. You can download into your machine, and you can run really powerful models. You see, Llama is Facebook model, and DeepSeek. That's if you are actually following the news, DeepSeek is a brand new model. That's a China model. It's beating like OpenAI, so it's very powerful. So you can actually run that locally in your machine.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem.
في كمان سؤال من طارق عم بيسأل إنه can be in the stock market and analysis as a quantitative finance analyst. في one of the parts اللي كنت عم تحكي عنهم.
Okay, you can check those.
موجود
يعني هو شو السؤال؟
مش عارف طارق، وضح السؤال أكتر بليز. معاذ عمل مداخلة بيحكي ال LLM is enough if the case is to generate choices, agents are to execute the actions.
Okay, ال AI agent هو أصلاً can run on an LLM, so you can actually run an AI agent on top of LLM because the LLM will basically do the reasoning and make the decision, and then your agent can actually you can basically, if the action was to insert a record in a database, or if the action was to send an email, or the action was so you can actually build that as a function, and then the AI agent, the LLM itself, can actually do reasoning and do the action on behalf of you. You just give it the tools, and it will do it on behalf of you. So using an LLM, you can actually build an agent.
Amazing.
أنا بحاول أشوف الشات عشان أقرأ السؤال.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
reading it as well.
ماشي. أنا هلا بقرأ الأسئلة. أنا بقرأهم.
Amazing.
في سؤال من ستارت اب: What are the potential security risks of deploying AI agent in containers, and how to mitigate risks such as unauthorized access to containerized services from your point of view? When إيش قصدك deploying agent on a container? في عندك يعني use case معينة؟ ستارت اب. على العموم يعني بشكل عام security طبعا security risks زي تعمل deployment لاي piece of software. يعني انت لما بدك تيجي تعمل generalize service you have to take all of the considerations. So the AI agent is nothing different than any other piece of software from this particular case. So be careful with AI agents that you want to make sure that AI agents do not do critical decisions that will affect something, and because AI agent can actually take wrong decisions. So you want to make sure that you teach them like step by step and monitor the performance before you can make them take critical decisions. But as far as security, it's a piece of software that you deploy. I deployed agents in just AWS Lambda. If you are familiar with Lambda, it's just the serverless. It's a serverless piece, just like containers, but it's just a Lambda. I deployed agents using like AWS Lambda. So whatever security controls I normally put on a Lambda, I have to put on that Lambda.
أستاذ أشرف، في آخر سؤالين إذا بتسمح لنا، رافعين إيديهم
تفضل.
طارق.
تفضل.
تفضل طارق.
يعطيك العافية دكتور.
الله يعافيك.
هلا أنا كان سؤال إنه في الستوك ماركت هلا كتير الإشي بيعتمد على الديسيجن، وفي كتير إنه بحاجة لتحليل، فإنه لو كان AI agent بس برضه بيعتمد على موضوع الفيدباك، إنه ممكن يتم إنه بفترات معينة بصف في كتير شراء، بس هذا الشراء مش إشي صحيح فبيعمل نيجاتيف فيدباك. فهل هو إنه بكون مجدي في موضوع مثلا كالستوك ماركت أو في موضوع الويلث مانجمنت والبورتفوليو مانجمنت؟
طبعا زي ما حكيت decision making AI can make mistakes, and I hear a lot about automated like stock management and things like that. So I'm not familiar with that, so I cannot really tell how they build it, but I think it's going to be a complicated topic. You need your agent to have the market knowledge. You need so it's not just maybe agent can actually read this chart and this just do the analysis just like a human does. So I'm sure you can make an AI agent that does certain, for example, rather than you read 10 charts and it takes you half an hour or 1 hour to do that, maybe the agent will come and say, you know what, I read all of the charts and I read this and I read that, and here is my summary. And then you, as a human, you can do the final decision. But I'm sure there are people that can fully automate these things. So, but I'm not expert in that field.
وفي كمان سؤال إنه الكوست تاعهم، إنه أنا بعرف إنه الكوست تاعهم عالي، بس ما عندي علم لأي حد إنه هو عالي الإشي. فمثلا كمشروع زي هيك تقريبا قد إيه بكون الكوست تاعه؟
لا، إذا أنت بدك تعمل ايجنت وتعطي له كل الرولز، يعني أنت عندك set of rules وبدك تعطي set of rules، ما بدك تعمل reinforced learning. You remember I talked about reinforced learning and that's for the autonomous agent. But real agent, normal agent, not autonomous, just it could be actually called autonomous, but without reinforced learning means you just give it all the policies, the guidance and everything in a single shot. So these are cheap. I mean, you don't have to teach a model, you don't have to train it. You just use one of the available models in the market, and you can actually have a functional agent with almost like nothing. You don't have to spend anything. It's just like any call to LLM. Basically, currently the LLMs are so they are multimodal. They understand different fields, so you could potentially create a useful functional agent with zero training. You don't have to train it. If that's the case, then the cost is almost zero. The cost comes if you actually need to train it yourself. That's going to be very expensive.
شكرا دكتور، سلم عليك.
العفو.
آخر سؤال نسيت.
اتفضل.
دكتور أشرف يعطيك العافية.
الله يعافيك.
شكرا على المحاضرة القيمة. I truly appreciate it. أنا المفروض متأخر فما تعرفت عليك مزبوط، ما بعرف وين أنت وإيش المنطقة أو السكتر اللي أنت فيه، بس أنا حبيت إنه أعقب على موضوع ال AI agent بموضوع reinforced learning أو reinforcement. هنا بدك تبني موديل أنت وبدك تعلمه من وتعمل، بده يكون عندك داتا ولا بدك تجيب داتا اللي خلينا نقول feedback mechanism ويصير autonomous in terms of learning even.
صحيح. بدك فيدباك يعني من الانفايرمنت، من الانفايرمنت ومن الانتراكشنز اللي بتتم في السيستم.
وهذا بخليه متخصص ولا anyways ال LLMs الداتا اللي اوريدي ال LLM متعلم فيها خلاه اكثر، يعني خلينا نقول قد ما بده يتعلم مش راح يتعلم قد اللي اوريدي موجود بشات جي بي تي فور اكزامبل او اوبن اي اي او
هو بتعلم على الداتا تبعتك الخاصه، لانه الشات جي بي تي والببليك LLMs they are trained on the public knowledge, but if you have private knowledge, yes, it is, but if you have like private data that's not publicly available, then it's not gonna know about it. So basically, you have to teach it on your private data. Of course, and that the moment you start basically training a model, it becomes expensive and it's very complicated. And by the way, I mentioned at the beginning of this call is that I'm not machine learning expert. I am like general software engineer with cloud experience. بس ال AI هاي موضوع أنا دخلت فيه يعني جديد. ما عمري علمت موديل، عشان يعني ما عمري عملت ترين لموديل. عملت مرة أو مرتين ما نجح لأنه صعب كتير. بس
ماشين ليرنينج دكتور أشرف ولا statistical type of learning modeling؟
لا، استخدمت حاجة اسمها ستيج ميكر في AWS كلاود. فستيج ميكر هو تول AWS كلاود بتسهل عليك عملية تعليم المودلز والشغلات زي هيك. في لقيت شغلات جديدة نزلت، في حاجة اسمها distillation. You distill a model. You have a big model like OpenAI, and you want that model to be very specialized in certain area, but you want a small model. You actually can distill it and then just focus on a certain area. هذه التكنولوجيا جديدة. AWS عندها announce يعني last reinvent اللي هو قبل شهر. وأنا لسه ما استخدمتها بالمرة، بس أنا حابب يعني راح استخدمها. وهذا بتخليك تستخدم النوليدج اللي already موجودة في البيج LLMs and just focus it on a certain topic, and then it's going to be a small model that you can deploy on your maybe local environment, maybe on an edge device.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's very interesting. حلو.
أستاذ فيصل، بس أنا بعرف كان في عندي دكتور في جامعة بير زيت فيصل عورتاني. أنت ولا واحد ثاني؟
هو أنا.
إذا أنت علمتني.
والله أهلا وسهلا، أنا مبسوط سعيد جدا يعني.
أنا درست عندك رياضيات أولى وثانية أعتقد.
بلس 1 و 2 صح، هذول كنت أعلمهم للإنجينيرينج و3 طبعا كورس.
أوكي، إذا الأستاذ موجود هنا تشرفنا.
وأنا هيني.
أهلا وسهلا دكتور فيصل، شكرا على حضورك. المهندس أشرف نبيه، شكرا جزيلا على هاي الندوة القيمة الرائعة والمفيدة. أنا ملاحظة إنه جميع المشاركين كتير مستمتعين فيها وعم بيسألوا أسئلة، وشكرا على هاي المداخلات الرائعة. أكيد جميع الحاضرين بشكركم على حضوركم، وأكيد بحب أسمع فيدباك منكم، رأيكم بالجلسة وكيف استفدتوا. بتقدروا توصلوا لي من خلال الواتساب، رح أبعث لكم كمان فورم من خلال الإيميل تقيموا لي كل هاي الجلسات. thank you again Mr. Ashraf for your time for this insightful session، ويعطيكم ألف عافية. استنونا طبعا في عنا كمان brain gain third webinar رح نطلقها قريبا، فاستنونا مع سبيكر جديد كمان. شكرا.